diversity of the Asian American community, connecting students with each other, and really helping people get connected and learn about the resources. So again, this is really an opportunity to applaud our success, to give ourselves a pat on the back, and to really acknowledge the hard work. And for all of you that are entering, if you could put yourself on mute, that would be helpful.
More specifically,
if any of the co-hosts could assist with that, that would be great. Thank you. So, like I said, my name is Ahilya Lom. I'm sure you've seen my name at the number of emails I sent out. I'm the director for the Asian American Student Services. I'm actually part of the Center for Identity and Inclusion, which is a larger department at CU Denver, which includes the American Indian Student Services, Black Student Services, and Latinx Student Services. And we also do programming and educational outreach and social justice issues for all students. So everyone is welcome at our center. We're located in the Student Commons Building, room 2000, once the campus opens. And we really try to reach out to all students who want to learn about diversity and equity issues. And one thing that's really unique about CU Denver, about our Asian American population that I've learned, is that 8% of our Asian American population identify as Asian, but there's another 3 to 4% that are of mixed heritage. They're Asian and another race. And so it really speaks to the diversity even within our Asian American community. And so how do we help students embrace their multiracial identity as well as learn about their Asian heritage, because that could give them a stronger foundation in their values and their traditions. So before I start this event, one of the traditions that we do at any major event is to recognize what we call a land acknowledgement, really recognizing the indigenous people that were here before us. And so this is a statement that my colleague, Gracie Rescher-Tayon, she is the director of the American Indian Services, drafted this land acknowledgement. And I think it's important to remember this history. So forgive me as I read this. Land acknowledgement. Acknowledging that we reside in the homelands of indigenous people is an important step in recognizing the history of the original stewards of this land. Land acknowledgement must extend far beyond the United States and has the land of, excuse me for one moment. Okay, we'll start from the beginning. The land acknowledgement. Acknowledging that we reside in the homelands of indigenous people is an important step in recognizing the history and the original stewards of this land. Land acknowledgement must extend far beyond words. The United States has worked hard to erase the narratives of indigenous people over time. Land acknowledgement statements can help to remind us of the history, the contributions, and the sacrifices Native people have made. We honor and acknowledge that we are in the traditional territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne, Arapaho, and Ute nations. This area, specifically the confluence of the Platte and the Cherry Creek rivers, was the epicenter for trade, information sharing, planning for the future, and community, family, and ally building as we conduct healing ceremonies for over 45 indigenous nations, including the Lakota, Kiowa, Comanche, Apaches, Shoshone, Paiute, Zuni, Hopi, among others. We must recognize indigenous people as the original inhabitants, stewards, and relatives of this land. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, remember that these ties the nations still have to the traditional homelands. Let us acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from the territory and pay our respect to the diverse indigenous peoples still connected to this land, and also give thanks to the tribal nations and ancestors of this place. So I think this is really important that we as an institution state this land acknowledgement so that we remember the contributions and the land that we occupy for the original indigenous people. The indigenous stories are very similar to the stories of Asians. A lot of Asian countries were colonized. They were displaced. And so I think it's important that we make the statement that we as Asian Americans also remember our history and give thanks to our ancestors and give back to our community. So that is one of the reasons why we host this event. Obviously to honor our graduates for your accomplishment, your hard work, and your perseverance, but also to thank the contributions of the CU Denver Asian American clubs and students. I want to recognize our student clubs play a pivotal role in creating community, especially at this time during the pandemic. They've been hosting events throughout the year via Zoom, virtual, where they play games, where they connect and talk and decompress and talk about the stresses and disappointments of life during this time. So I want to really thank the student clubs and the leaders in particular for going above and beyond at this time to still continue to build relationship, to reach out. And so I want to recognize our contribution and hand it over to some of our student leaders. I also want to give thanks to our Asian American Student Service team, our student support that really help me personally with the day-to-day operations, with the marketing. We have Luis here, who's our graphic designer. We have Judy Tran, who's our program specialist, who does a lot of the logistics, organization, and behind the scenes. And she's created this phenomenal video for you all to view at the end. But in particular, Council of Asian Student Leaders is really an umbrella organization that recruits student leaders from the various Asian cultural clubs. We have 8 Asian cultural clubs, which is a record for any institution in the state of Colorado to have that many Asian cultural clubs. And it's because we are very fortunate that at CU Denver, like I said, we have a large Asian American population. And all of them are well connected, they collaborate, and they support each other. And they're pivotal in really showing the diversity of the Asian American culture, the traditions, the history, the immigration stories. And so I want to thank all of you, the Asian student clubs and the members, for hosting this event to spotlight and honor our graduates. So the student organizations, are hosting this event to honor the graduates who are the future leaders, the influencers, and role models for the current students today. So if Kathy is here, she is the chair of CASTLE. We have a number of our CASTLE members here that I would like them to introduce themselves, to share a little bit about who they are, their ethnicity, their major, and their career aspirations and their role. So I will go ahead and hand it off to Kathleen, who has been played a major role in this event. Kath.
Hi, my name is Kath. I am a 4th year biology major. I'll be graduating in the spring. I am currently the event planner for CASTLE. I am also the president for InterVarsity, and I am the
so many roles.
This year I'm the historian for ASA.
Yeah. You could tell she wears multiple hats. She's also a peer advocate leader.
Yeah, I'm a pal as well. I'm also a peer mentor as well for the AASS.
Kathleen.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathleen. I'm a public health major, and I am the CASTLE secretary. So also a side note, if you are a graduate, if you could personally private message me and just let me know that you're here, and then I'll have a couple instructions for you to do. But thank you all for joining us again tonight.
Great. Honey. I love saying her name. Honey.
Hello everyone, my name is Honey. So this year I take the role as social media specialist, actually co-social media specialist. And I am a 3rd year student, and I'm double majoring in marketing and entrepreneurship. And welcome everyone.
And she'll be one of our performers. We have quite a talented crew of students here. Manarsh.
Hi everyone, I'm Manharsh. I take the role of treasurer in Castle. I'm majoring in computer science and engineering. And a little about me, my ethnicity is I'm from India. And thank you all for joining us.
And I see our fearless leader of Castle is here, the chair, Kathy Lay. Take it away.
Hi everyone, there's also a couple other officers that I'll introduce after myself, but my name is Kathy Lay. I am a senior this year at CU Denver, majoring in biology with a minor in ethnic studies. I will also be graduating alongside Kath in spring of 2021. I serve as the chair for CASTLE, which is the Council of Asian Student Leaders. We are a club that pretty much is the umbrella organization club that supports all Asian American Pacific Islander identified clubs. So we support clubs like Asian Student Association, Vietnamese Student Association, Hmong Student Association, Filipino Student Association, and there's so many more, as Sonia mentioned earlier. And so we're really there to provide support for these clubs and also give them, any like guest speakers or chip in any way we can. But alongside with CAF, I also wear multiple hats and officer positions. I currently also serve as the president of the Minority Association of Pre-Health Students, MAPS for short, and then I'm also the secretary of CBL, the Filipino Student Association. I myself am a Vietnamese American, and so that's just a little about me. And then there's a couple of officers here I'd like to still introduce. So there's Martin Nguyen. Could you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Martin. I am also a fourth-year student with Kathy and Kath. I am a biochem major with a double minor in chemistry and business. I'm currently sitting on Castle as their social media specialist, but I also am the VP of Vietnamese Student Association and the president of the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers.
Thank you, Martin. We also have Bomi.
Hello, I'm Bomi, and I'm a sophomore in the architecture major. I don't really have much else to say, so congratulations for graduating.
Bomi's our Castle historian. She's also part of CU Denver Wushu club team. And then last but not least, we have Pavna.
Hi everyone, my name is Pavna, as you just heard. I actually come from India, moved here when I was about 13-ish, and I'm one of the graduates, just modeling my little boards and my sash here. I'm about to finish my Master's of Science in Information Systems, and I'll be graduating this semester. And I'm the advisor to Castle, and Castle definitely has a very close place in my heart. I seem to never be able to get away from it. So I've been involved for like 8 years now, so yeah, that's about it.
She was the first Castle coordinator who helped us get this established. So this is quite a legacy.
I'm already getting emotional, so this may not work out.
We have to give her a lot of credit for helping us get this established, and the fact that it's still in existence and really strong. And thank you for your mentorship. I also we have a great group of community members and staff. I want to do a shout out to Peggy Lohr. For those of you who don't know, Peggy Lohr was once the director for the Asian American Student Services. Peggy, do you want to say hello to everyone?
Is that me?
No, Peggy? Yeah, Peggy retired a few years ago, and she retired as a Assistant Vice Chancellor for Student Success. But she's had a phenomenal impact on a number of students. Students have come back who remember her, and she is the children of the students that she mentored when she was in this role. So that might be me in another 10 or 15 years. And she, in her honor for the contributions that she's given to CU Denver and for Asian American students and for the community, we have a scholarship in her name. And I know, I think Honey received it a few years ago as a recipient of the Peggy Lohr, and again, we want to thank her. So again, there's a great number of you all here. I don't know, I'll take Kathy, take it away. She's our Master of Ceremonies and our Castle Chair.
So our first activity we'd like you guys to do, we're going to put you all in breakout rooms and we have a fun Jeopardy game planned. There is an incentive, so there'll be 6 breakout rooms, 1 with each officer, so we're going to help facilitate. And you guys are points it is, so like for 500, the harder the question may be. And so these questions are relating to AAPI, so we have 3 categories.
Sent to us. He's an assistant professor in the political science department, and he's a wonderful person for you all to know.
I'm going to introduce him. Dr. Jasmine Panya was born and raised in Hawaii, which is illegally occupied by the United States. He is now assistant professor of political science at the UC Denver. He regularly offers 2 graduate courses, American Political Thought, which focus on the writing of BIPOC, which stands for Black, Indigenous, and Color People, and Women About Identity, Citizenship, and Political Change, and the Modern Political Thoughts, which explore politics and a matter of who lives and who dies. Recently, Chad has enjoyed baking, doing jigsaw puzzles, and being useless imposter in Among Us. He is tired of playing nice and is in the struggle of a better world. We will share his honorable speech, and please share with us.
And then you go ahead and honey, are you able to share this video?
Yes, I am doing it. Just bear up for a second. Okay.
And let's record this. Louise, can you record this video?
Yes, I'm recording.
Here we go.
Hello, my name is Chad Shimura, and I'm an assistant professor of political science here at CU Denver. I'm very honored to be speaking with you today from the traditional homelands of the Cheyenne, Arapaho, and Ute nations. Congratulations to all of the graduates, and thank you to our student leaders for your tremendous work. Usually these kinds of speeches have a positive, optimistic message, but this speech won't be that. You are graduates and student leaders, and so I am confident that you are fully prepared to tackle life's toughest problems. So today, I will honor you with a gift of 2 hard questions. As we know, 2020 was a nightmare. Lives around the world have been upturned by a deadly pandemic. Livelihoods have been dashed and small businesses have shuttered, while the rich have managed to get even richer. The callous indifference and utter narcissism of he who shall not be named have led to mass death and suffering, much of which could have been avoided. Families have been caged and torn apart, some potentially forever. We have seen Black people being killed and brutalized with impunity by militarized police squads, while turning a blind eye to white domestic terrorists. Fake news and conspiracy theories have turned gaslighting into a regular feature of politics. Greed, corruption, and authoritarian tendencies have festered at the highest levels of government. Wildfires and hurricanes have rampaged across the earth with greater frequency and fury in our new normal. And along the way, we have lost so many heroes, actors and athletes, composers, civil rights leaders, Supreme Court justices, our neighbors, our friends, and our family. All of this and so much more have shrouded us in uncertainty, anxiety, depression, and fear. We have stared into the abyss, and it has stared right back into us. It's as though every day we see hope for a better future being damaged, if not utterly destroyed. So many of us have desired deeply an end to 2020, a return to normal in 2021, and brighter days over the next decade. So here is the first question. which actually is the easier of the two. What if 2020 were the best year of the 20s? In the darkest of times, we might hear a voice deep inside of us, shouting that we need more, that we deserve more. When we feel most helpless, we know that the world is not enough, that it's not supporting us, not caring for us, not sustaining us. We know that we need something different. Usually, however, we ignore that voice, ignore our best, truest selves, simply because the world tells us to. We accept whatever the world gives us, even if it doesn't provide adequate nourishment. We fall back on whatever is most familiar, even if it doesn't really work for us, has never worked for us, comes at a steep cost to us and to others. We settle for far less than what we need to flourish. We allow the most precious bits of ourselves to starve in hopes that someday the sacrifices will all be worth it. But we might grow tired of waiting. We might listen to that inner voice, heed its powerful call, let it lead us not out of uncertainty, but deeper into it, out of a hunch that we might land somewhere new, somewhere that is truly life-giving. We might listen to what feels unshakably right, just, and vital, as so many others had this year. Those people who have experienced the bottom of their worlds completely fall out and have had to experiment in order to live and in order to thrive. We have seen networks of mutual aid pop up and flourish, wherein strangers care for total strangers with no strings attached except for the mutual demand for deep reciprocity. We have seen tens of thousands of people take to the streets and face off against militarized police squads because every Black life matters. We have seen countless people stand up against the racists in their lives, whether they're your bosses or your professors, whether they're armed police or armed vigilantes, or even the President of the United States. We have seen a decades-long struggle by Native peoples finally succeed in abolishing Columbus Day here in Colorado. And we have seen a powerful resurgence of Kanaka Maoli in their protection of the sacred mountain Mauna Kea in Hawaii for the past 507 days against powerful forces that would desecrate it. We have seen so many people affirm the necessity of interdependence, the beauty of shared vulnerability, and the strength that can only come through collective organizing. We will not and cannot return to normal, which was so full of hardship, suffering, and injustice for so many people, many of us included. Thankfully, there are so many shining examples of ordinary people fighting for a world that we all truly deserve. They might have been doing so for their entire lives, or they might be doing so for the very first time now. But whatever the case, they do so with each other, and with the power of people who came and fought before them, because none of us gets what we truly need, desire, and deserve on our own. As mentioned earlier, the first question was the easy one. I leave you now with the harder one. Where do you plan to be in all of this over the next 10 years?
Thank you for sharing that, honey. And we want to thank Dr. Chasamora for those words. I mean, I think it's very sobering what's happening. But again, I think I'm inspired by what we can do collectively, how we can all speak up and collectively organize and stand up to injustices. And so I think his message is very clear. What can you do as Asian Americans, as part of the BIPOC community, as part of the world, in terms of standing up for justice, not just settling, not just letting things go the way they are if you see that it's not fair, but we as a collective group have a bigger voice in how we and we need to speak up. And so I know every time I hear Chad, Dr. Samora speak, I really feel challenged And what can I do to impart on the role that we can play to influence change for the better? Because there are inequities in our system, and how do we reflect personally on how do we perpetuate those inequities? How do we hold some of those biases? But then I'm inspired by all of you. I know many of you are very progressive, very aware, and want to make a difference. And I know some of you have been protesting in the streets, have been really taking classes in ethnic studies, examining our history, knowing our history. And so I am inspired by many of you, and I think, again, we all as a group need to know our history, make a difference, and educate each other. So thank you, Dr. Chad Samora. We'll have his video available if you want to share. And I would encourage you all to take his classes if you can, if you're a continuing student. I think it's important for you all to know the history of our voices that are often not visible in our textbooks, media, and in conversations. So I'll hand it off to you, honey.
Right now we have Bergmann to perform the song for us. Before that, I will introduce her. So she's a senior majoring in visual arts, and she's a South Asian. Ahilya penned her first song at the age of 13 and refused to share her creation with anyone other than her two close friends. The family moved to across the country when she was 15, and her songwriting was the only familiarity she had in her new environment. With her building confidence and love for songwriting, Ahilya entered Guitar Center's and Singer-Songwriter 6 contest in 2017. Grammy-winning producer Bergmann selected Ahilya as a top 5 finalist of 9,000 entered songwriters. Ahilya was invited to Los Angeles and performed publicly for the first time at the Legend venue, Tilbury. In 2018, Ahilya released her debut EP, Contagious. The EP revolves around the contagious aspect of communication with titles including Curiosity, Motion, Energy, and Ideas. In 2019, Ahilya collaborated with producer Rourke on Lilac Clouds and single charting on iTunes in France. Ahilya continues grow as an artist, songwriter, and community member in the Denver music scene. She will be performing her original song titled Survival Kit. Ahilya, the Zoom is yours.
Thanks so much for reading. Ooh, okay, we're performing at a desk. But thanks so much for reading that bio, and I just wanted to share a quick little note about this song. I wrote this song at the beginning, middle parts of quarantine. It's called Survival Kit, and I was just having a lot of reflections on feeling guilty about not really knowing how to use my quarantine time productively. And this is just kind of a song coming to acceptance with that, of like acknowledging that we haven't lived this situation before, and therefore we shouldn't try to be like holding ourselves or our loved ones accountable for doing like the exact thing we want per se. But this is a song called Survival Kit. I hope you like it. Can you hear my guitar okay? Cool. The word familiar feels unfamiliar, but I hope it doesn't stay this way. I feel cloudy like the weather, and so if I'm holding my mind's weight, and I wonder if I was supposed to have an answer today, but I still don't, I might never. But all I know is all I know is I don't wanna let you down, no. But I'll admit right now, I don't know what's to come, but all I know is that we are the first to live like this and give him no survival kit. I think that it's okay if all I know is I don't think I'm supposed to know. All I know is that All I know that I'm overthinking, but I'm trying to take it day by day. Break it 2 hours, even a minute. Who knew time could feel this way? And I wonder if I was supposed to have an answer today. But I still don't, I might never. But all I know, I said all I know is I don't wanna let you down, no. But I'll admit right now, I don't know what's to come. But all I know is that we are the first to live like this, and given no survival kit, I think that it's okay. For all I know is I don't think I'm supposed to know. All I know is that all I know. And I wonder if I could've, and I wonder if I was supposed to look for more signs. And I wonder if I could've, but I still can't, I might never. But all I really know is I don't wanna let you down, no. But I don't know what's to come. But all I know is that we are the first to live like this, and given no survival kit, I think that it's okay. For all I know is I don't know. I said all I know is that we are the first to live like this, and given no survival kit, I think that it's okay. For all I know is I don't. Thank you, and congratulations to the graduates.
Thank you. Woo! Thank you, Edwina. Truly, remember her name. She's going to be famous. I'm going to see you on The Voice one of these days. But I thank you so much for the amazing performance and just your message. Again, you're so reflective and thoughtful. And for those of you who don't know, that Edwina was one of those protesters out this summer in the streets, you know, calling for Black Lives Matter. And as an Asian American, she's really aware of what we need to do in terms of being a stronger allies with the Black Lives Matter movement. So I appreciate everything that Edwina has done. She's helped co-facilitate a number of social justice teach-ins with Dr. Faye Caronin and I. And so thank you for your commitment for racial justice and how you relay that through your voice and through your songs and your mentorship for the students that are currently here. So we always appreciate your wonderful performance. So now we want to acknowledge our graduates. Woohoo, graduates! This is your time, and this is really an opportunity to acknowledge the hard work. Some of you have been in school for 4 years plus, some of you have come back for your master's degree, but we know it's not an easy feat. And often your accomplishment is just not a reflection of your own achievement, but really the sacrifices of your ancestors, your parents and family that have given you encouragement, given you support. So really this is bigger than you, we know, and we want to just acknowledge everything that you've done. And so I want to give credit to our event planner, Kath Wynn. She has spent hours creating this wonderful slideshow of all our graduates who have submitted their photo, their major, some words of advice, what their plans are, and she's compiled this beautiful slideshow. Some of our students aren't able to attend virtually with classes, and so she will be reading the names of the students that aren't here. And the students who are here, please make sure you let us know so that we can give you an opportunity to give you space and time to say your thank yous and share who you are, your ethnicity, your aspirations, career aspirations, words of advice, or any words of thanks or appreciation for the support system that made you be able to succeed and graduate. So without further ado, Kath is going to go ahead and share the slideshow. Kath, are you able to do that?
I think so. Give me one.
Yeah, and for those who are here, please know that the slideshow is in alphabetical order by first name. We can send you, Kathleen, if you wouldn't mind copying the list of the names in their number order so that students have an idea of who they will follow in the slideshow so that they could be prepared to introduce themselves and say some remarks. Again, this is a poor substitute for in-person honoring where you get to walk on stage and be given the stole, but I hope you received the stoles that we mailed out to you. Please wear it, and please take a moment to really reflect on your accomplishment, especially this year. It has not been easy for any of us, but especially for you graduates. We want to commend you for finishing strong and finishing, during this uncertain times. I know it can be unnerving, but thank you for being here tonight to share as we, look at you as role models for the students here, because truly, when you accomplish, when you achieve graduation, it's really inspiring for a lot of the current students because they can envision, hey, that could be me in a few years. I'll be able to say I'm a graduate of CU Denver with a master's or bachelor's or a PhD. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and show you the beautiful slides that Kath has created honoring our class of 2020. Strong! You're strong! Take it away, Kath.
All right. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Give me 1 second.
I want to note that we had over 200 students that graduated with PhDs, masters, and undergrad. And unfortunately, during this time, not everyone we couldn't recognize everyone. We recognized the students who submitted their information. But we want to recognize that we have a huge population of AAPI, CU Denver, and Anschutz graduates, and we want to say, you're really inspiration for the current students. And so some of the information that we collected was their majors, what they were involved in, any officer roles that they had, proudest moment, and plans after graduation. And you'll note many of our graduates who are here, they're wearing stoles. The red and white is to represent their Asian American heritage. The different cords represent the involvement that they've had in the different Asian American clubs and organizations. The black and gold cord that you'll see is because they've taken on a leadership role or have attended some of the Asian American Student Services, and the various other cords represent their involvement in all the different Asian clubs. Take it away, Kat.
So our first graduate is Ahilya Lom. She has a BA in finance. She was involved with Indian Student Association. She was previously a secretary for Indian Student Association as well. Her words of advice is be true to yourself. It was when she organized the Diwali event and when it came out successful. Plans after graduation, she's planning to continue her internship with Northwestern Mutual. Our next one is going to be, there you go. I'll pass it on to Ahmad. I believe he's here. So,
Ahmad, would you like to say some words? Introduce yourself? Ahmad,
Probably left.
no problem. So let's go to Ahmad. He's a criminal justice major.
Yeah, so he's a criminal justice major. His words of advice is to work hard, enjoy, spend every moment at its best, because those memories will last forever. A memorable moment for him was when he first joined and made many friends from all around the world. Plans after graduation, he plans to work in the government sector. Our next graduate is Amar Jargov. He has a BS in Business Administration. He was involved with Asian Student Association, and his words of advice are, do all the required work, study for the exams, and get involved outside of class. His memorable moment was meeting old buddies from past schools and playing basketball in the gym and in New CU Denver gym. His plans after graduation is to go to the U.S. Army. Our next next graduate is Anchi. He has a BA in economics. She says word of advice is enjoy your school life. Her memorable moment is the first time I entered campus, and her plans after graduation is to work. Sorry for that.
Pavna is here.
Yes, I will pass this on to Pavna. Here's your.
Oh my goodness, I picked that picture. Perfect. I don't look anything like it right now, but that's fine. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Pavna, and I am finishing my Master's of Science in Information Systems, as mentioned before, and I'm also getting a certificate in cybersecurity. My student involvement include Council of Asian Student Leaders, Indian Student Association, and South Asian Student Association, and honestly, I like attending events to any Asian American students, whatever, because I just love connecting. Officers' positions that I've held is I've been the president of South Asian Student Association and advisor to Council of Asian Student Leaders. Words of advice are, honestly, do not be afraid of failures. Winners tend to make a lot of fails in their lives, so don't be afraid of it. Proudest moment is holding and organizing a Diwali event for SASA for 6th time and being able to mentor oncoming freshmen who were once my actual students when I was a science teacher. Something about that makes you feel not only old, but very proud. Plans after graduation. Okay, no, I'm not applying for a master's program. I'm done with my master's.
I'm so sorry, that's my mistake.
That's okay. I'm like, another one? Do you guys know something that I don't? Plans after graduation are just to hopefully find a job that I absolutely love and continue on with my crazy ventures. That's about it.
I guess for you, what is something that you're grateful for? I guess since you're here, is there something you'd want to say you're grateful for?
I am honestly super grateful for the community that's around me and I've surrounded myself with, and the reason for that is that the community that I am in, I need to shout out my parents and my students, my mentors, my spouse for always believing in me before I believed in myself. Whenever I've had any self-doubts, they can already imagine me, envisioning me finishing that goal. So I'm super grateful for that. And my strongest advice to you guys is not only not be afraid of failures, but also surround yourself with people who really believe in you.
All right, thank you, Pavna. That was beautiful. So we'll go to our next graduate, Our next graduate is Brittany. Looks like she's not here, but she has a BA in public health. She was involved with Asian Student Association and CBOL as well, Filipino Student Association. Her words of advice are putting in the effort. Seems difficult at times, but it's worth it. Her plans after graduation is to pursue a career. And then we'll go to our next graduate. Is Christian Pascal. He has a BS in biology this semester. He was involved with Vietnamese Student Association as well as CBOL Filipino Student Association, which he was actually a former officer in 2016 as a treasurer. His words of advice are don't be afraid to ask for help. There are so many people in so many different positions that are more than happy to help you in any way you need. His proudest moment is actually making it to graduation, and his plans after graduation is to become a high school science teacher. Our next graduate is Kirsten. She cannot be here today, but she is graduating from CU Anschutz. She is getting her BS in nursing. Her words of advice are make friends and be a part of the community. Jesus and my friends got me through this wild year. Memorable moment was a public napping in the AMC sidewalk, and her plans after graduation is to work somewhere with her. Our next graduate is Gavin. It's not here as well. But his BS in biology was involved with Asian Student Association. Words of advice were do not be afraid to seek out. Memorable moment was a snowy day on campus, and plans after graduation is pursuing further education. Our next graduate is Daysia Stone, and she has a BSBA marketing. She was involved with Asian Student Association, Marketing Club, Leader in Sustainability, IBSN, and BSAC. Her words of advice is suggested readings are enjoyable. Proudest moments was attending a marketing panel with knowledgeable and successful panelists in professions with fortune of 500 companies. It felt very exciting, and she felt very excited about pursuing her career in business. Her plans after graduation is starting project management in Las Vegas, Nevada, and dabble in business development analysis. Her next graduate is Doan from Doan, and he's getting a BS in mechanical engineering. He was involved with the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. Words of advice he has is the road to education is uneven. Steps might be hard, tough, and difficult, but it is the strong foundation for future. No matter how tough you feel, the time you invest now will be productive later in life. Just walk through and don't give up. Memorable moment for him was success thought he would never achieve, but a dream come true through hard work. The environment of the campus that didn't let him feel left alone towards success. Plans for after graduation, he plans to work towards something that's related to his major and continue towards his master's degree. Our next graduate is Hailey Murphy. Hailey Murphy, she's currently getting her BS in public health, and she received her certificate in biochemistry. Her student involvement was Asian Student Association. Her words of advice is keep pushing through. There are moments that you will want to quit and drop out, but she promises that it will be okay. Proudest moment for her was graduating, since she's a first-generation student, and her plans after graduation is to go into pharmacy school. Our next graduate is Betty Wang. She is here, so I think she's still here, right?
He's here.
Okay, cool.
Is here.
We'll pass
Bye,
it.
Betty.
Hi.
Mute yourself.
Oh
Go
yeah.
ahead and speak.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Betty, and I come from China. I just graduated from my master degree on special education. I would like to use this opportunity to thank my family, especially to my husband and my son, to support me. You know, the 2020 is really tough year, but I made it. And I also have a special thanks to those families during my study. That families has some children with special needs. They show me some support. They give me a strong support and show me some really positive attitude to their tough life. I want to say thank you to those people. So they support me to make it. Thank you so much. That's
Thank you, Betty, for presenting. Congratulations. We'll go to our next graduate. Our next graduate is Janet Doan. I believe she's here as well. So I will pass this on to you, Janet. Feel free to unmute yourself and take over.
So I'm Janet. I'm getting a BS in Information Systems, and after graduating, I'm going to be moving to California and then getting my master's online with CU Denver. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody I've met the past 3.5 years, especially some of the staff members. I know, I think Junior left, but Junior, Soya, and Gray, just to name a few. My first semester was pretty hard getting involved, but it was definitely a lot easier with your guys' help. So I just wanted to thank everybody who helped me through my academic journey, and I hope the best for everyone.
All right, thank you, Janet. We'll go to our next graduate. So I'll just I'll turn it down. I think we're kind of running low on time. This is Jasmine. She's not here, but her major is a Bachelor of Science in Public Health. She was involved with Asian Student Association, CASL, Hmong Student Association, Vietnamese Student Association, and Korean Student Association, and she was a former officer for VSA as well. Our next graduate is Jiang Bao, I think. He has a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. He was involved with Asian Student Association. Our next graduate is Kira. And Kira got a Bachelor of Science. Not really sure what in specific, but she was involved with HDFR peer mentoring program. And our next graduate is going to be Lin Zhang. She was here previously, but I believe she has left. But she is a Bachelor of Science in Biology, and she was involved with Asian Student Association as well as the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. And then our next graduate is Lua Franklin. I believe she's here still. So,
hi. My name is Kelly Lua Franklin, and I'm getting my BA in psychology. In addition to ASA, I was involved with the CU Denver Cheer and Dance team and the Future Doctors Club, as well as Neuroscience Club as president and vice president. I really enjoyed taking part in the community events that were offered on campus, and making friends through club sports was the way that I really got involved. And I plan to apply for a master's program. My ethnicity, I am a proud Lumbawan from Sarawak, Malaysia. I came here when I was a little kid and have really enjoyed Colorado since. But I wanted to take one moment to really thank my parents, my mom and my dad, for supporting me through these years. They've been tough. A lot of doctor's appointments, surgeries, a lot of hurdles that we had to cross as a team together, until finally we got to a point where I'm successfully graduating after taking 29 credit hours, 2 semesters in a row, and I can't thank them enough for the support that they've given me. So we did it, E-Team, we did it.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, congratulations. Our next graduate is Lucy Lee. I believe she's still here. Are you here still, Lucy? Yeah. I will pass this on to you. Feel free to give your speech.
Okay, awesome. I don't know if you guys can see me, but oops, there we go. Sorry. My name's Lucy. I am graduating this year with a BS in marketing with an option in information systems. I was involved in ASA, BSA, and HSA, and I loved every part of it. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's helped me along the way, my friends, family, Soyeon, Junior, Greg, everyone. I started out with pre-collegiate as well, so that was fun, and it was great meeting everyone.
Thank you. Congratulations as well. We'll go to our next graduate. Our next graduate is Maimuna. She has a master's in educational leadership with principal licensure, and she was involved with Indian Student Association, Muslim Student Association, and yeah. Our next graduate will be Michelle Lee. I do not believe she's here, but she's currently having a BA with Public Health. She was involved with Asian Student Association, and she plans to go to nursing school after graduation. Our next graduate is Natasha Amiri. She is having she's getting her master's in counseling, marriage, and family therapy. She was involved with Asian Student Association, Counselors for Social Justice, and Chi Sigma Lambda for Counselors. She was formerly a vice president for Chi Sigma Lambda for Counselors, and she plans to strengthen her therapeutic competencies after graduation. The next graduate is Shannon Clark. She is getting her Bachelor's of Science, and she plans to find a job in her field after graduation. Our next graduate is Sheila, and I believe she is here, so if you're comfortable and ready, feel free to speak.
Oh, hello. So I'm gonna get my BS in accelerated nursing this December, or I guess next week. Yeah, don't forget to take care of you, because if you're not going to take care of yourself, who will? And yeah, let's see. My plans after grad is to work a new grad residency program. I had my interviews this week, so just going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sheila. Would you also like to say anything that you're grateful for before you go?
I'm grateful for, my family and friends, and, still being able to get through the program, just school in general with everything that's going on. You know, with COVID.
See Christine. All right.
Soyan's here.
Is Martin still here?
Martin, are you still on the call?
Yes, I am. Well, I let my webcam to a friend because he kind of proctored exam today, so I do not have.
And you should be on this call too, can we? Yes. There's an advisor for HSA.
Sneak out of here.
Yes.
Everyone, smile. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Smile. Perfect. Thank you. So now I want everyone to turn on your cameras, and we're going to take one big group photo.
You're comfortable though.
I'm gonna do a silly face because I look the same in the past.
If you all are comfortable with cameras on, please do so now. It's so nice seeing everyone's faces. Is everyone ready? I think I got everyone. Okay. Everyone smile. 3, 2, 1. One more, because there's 2 pages. All right. Smile again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now by Pavna's request, let's do one silly photo. I was already doing a silly face. Not a silly photo. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. One more, because there's 2 pages again. 3, 2, 1. Yay!
We love you, Kathy. You always capture these photos and these
Even virtually, gotta capture all moments, right? We're gonna like look back at it like 10 years down the line and be like, oh my gosh.
we will appreciate it. But thank you all for spending your Thursday with us and really honoring our graduates. And I really appreciate some of the staff, all the staff that came and attended. And thank you all. I want to do a special shout out because we have a number of first year students that have really plunged and gotten involved. And one of them is Gracie. Your name comes up because you've been at almost every event. And so just know that we have a little something coming your way to acknowledge your involvement and participation. So thank you, Grace. And then Rohan, I know you've been very involved too. He's a first year student from Highlands Ranch who's just plunged in. And a lot of you I know have been very, very wanting to get connected, like Ryan, and Brittany and Gina. Thank you so much. And I want to thank our community members too, Milal. She's been an amazing partner, and we hope to connect with you in person once we get back to normal. But thank you all. Loves and kisses. This has been a phenomenal event, and it really is to Kathy and the leadership team at Castle that have helped host this, and to the AAS team, Louise for helping you record, Judy for the wonderful slideshow, and to all of you to make this event special. So, end of 2020 is near, and 2021 is going to be better. There's a vaccine on the horizon. We'll be back in person in the fall. And so I want to say I wish you the best on finals and your graduation. And we will be contacting you again as an alumni to come and speak. And so it's not over. So thank you so much for being a part of this event. Thanks. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for the E-team. Thank you, AASS. Hi, everyone.
Wait, so yeah, I want to make an announcement. ASA is having a meeting next Tuesday if you want to drop by.
Thank you for that announcement. Yes. Yeah. Like I